Okay, so this is my Yamato deck. The reason why I like this deck is I talked to another Yamato player who really got me on the board with the Straw Sword, Shirahoshi, and You're the One Who Should Disappear. The Straw Sword really comes in handy against a lot of decks like blue, like even green. A lot of people that try to put blockers in your way early on, you can get rid of it, and this really good combo with Hody Jones at the end if they have three blockers up. I like Straw Sword for the early game as well as the finishing closer. Izo's cool. I initially had a Momonosuke in my deck, so I had Izo to search, but it's still good for the rest of 4 costs or less, mainly for a 2k counter though. 10 drop is really huge importance in this deck. It works for a lot of big decks I play against, such as Uta. So if I face a Uta who plays an 8-drop kid, I play the Dofi. Or this is crazy against Whitebeard. And a lot of decks this comes through. I think not for purple, red, Law, because those I just go the Hody Jones leader combo. Shirahoshi really clutch if I have a lot of bricks in hand. Also good combo with Hiyori if I need to. Beige, I used to have Satori in there, but I realized like there's some games where I just get out swung at the end. That'd be great if I had some more survivability. So beige is great. Sanji really good for the same reason. Sure, they can bottom deck him, but the premise is for certain decks this really comes clutch. Also good in the mirror match. Nami, of course, amazing when I try to do double attack. Banish, I can also trigger KO at 5 costs or less, which is really good against these blockers. Biko Momoshi, I like him. He summoned on trigger, 3 life or less. I had Kikunojo's, but I like Nico Mushi because he can KO some characters who are just stubborn, and you can just swing direct with my leader ability, add 2 to him to directly attack these blockers. He comes through a lot for the end game where I just summon him and then swing for life. Okay, Ace. 5 cost Ace is really good, as a lot of people know, but I'm running 3 because I used to run 3 9 cost Yamato Wano, but I realized like I can actually get the same desired effect by adding Soul Focus, so getting a life or banishing a life. But if I add these 5 cost Ace, this not only gives me play move on certain turns against certain blockers. Like say they have a blocker up, I'm not going to swing 5 into him if I can't get around it. So I'm just going to put swing and then play an ace. Ace can also do rush if the opponent has 2 life or less, so I can attach the Dawn to swing for 9 if I need to. But I think he's just really good for those games where you're facing someone who doesn't expect you to have that rush capability, and he's also really strong. Like having a 5 cost 7 attack rush character is just really good for closing. Amaru, odd choice. I like 1 of 1 because he comes through for me, even with 1, but I never want to see 2. I think the ability to finish off games is good, the trigger ability for clutch moments, but also just like the amount of times I end up using him. Like I think just 101 feels amazing for me. I don't know why. I think 2 would just be too much bricks. 0 cost amazing for getting rid of some last minute bricks. Also for last life trigger, so if you have 0 life, put the top card of your deck into your life face down, and then also trash a card from your hand. Reject, I played 2 of, but now I'm running 3 just because there's going to be a lot more blockers. I like the ability to, the crazy thing is, even if I didn't have the second effect, which is if your opponent has 1 life, deal 1 damage to them, then add the top card of your life to your hand. Even without that, I'd still play Reject. So like, it's too bad they're banishing this card. I kind of feel like it would be better to have him just for the first effect, which is KO 5 cost or less characters, just for the yellow. But they have to banish the entire card, so that's too bad. And then Soul Focus, this is like a very odd choice, but I realized when playing like Moria or 5 cost leaders, 5 life leaders, Soul Focus can come clutch because it gives me that extra life to survive, or I can banish a card, and that's really good. I can work this around my Hyoris. It helps me get closer to either killing them off or surviving as long as I need to get to my end game. But I actually like this. So this is the deck I'll be running in next week's tournament. Sure, the Straw Sword effect trigger doesn't really work for me, but at the same time, this will come clutch really much because I can use that Dawn right away. So yeah, I like this. This is 2, 4, 8, 12, 2Ks, so that's 4, 8, 12, 16 1Ks, but a lot of zeros. So I think there's more than enough defense. Early on, I could just swing like crazy against a lot of boards, and ultimately, I'm mainly the aggressor for most cases, so I think this is perfect. Reject really good against those kid blockers, queen blockers, Sabo once his effect's all gone. A lot of those odd balls, and then I can also rest Straw Sword, KO those like smaller, rest those smaller blockers on clutch moments, or get all that. So let's talk about matchups. Against Sakazuki, swing big, get him to use his 2Ks. Straw Sword, Hody Jones to win the game. Because they're always going to put 3 blockers knowing that you have Hody Jones, but you do both of these, they'd never expect it. Moria, swing big, try to get an Onami banish in. If you can't, calculate how many 2Ks they have. They have a lot of counters, so just you want to play off the 10 drop. This is a really big player for me because they don't really have much blockers. I mean, apart from the Sabo, but I play the Dofi, have survivability, and then I rest their Sabo, KO the game, and go for crazy bounce, and they can't counter out of that. Let's see. Law, easy, swing big, swing big. They play a blocker, rest, swing big. They have 0 life. Hody Jones win the game. I mean, it's of course a lot more complicated than that, but I'm putting 4 rejects, 3 rejects just for that reason. Against the 5 life leaders, remember, Soul Focus can come clutch, especially because 5 life leader is now 4 life. But of course, there's only 2 of these, so it's not really likely you're going to see this all the time. But I think you just see it just enough. Like, you never want to see it too much, so I think 2 is fine for now. I mean, I could change these numbers later. Ace is great for, clutch moments, but also if you don't have anything to play, you can play Ace. Sure, they can go around and just like kill it, but they'll waste the Dawns and you can play another one. That's fine. What other matchups? Uta, you want to play around your 10 drop. The kid, 10 drop, rest the blockers, KO the kid, swing for game, kill the blockers. All the above. What else is there? Katakuri. Okay, Katakuri is probably my worst matchup just because I used to be a Katakuri main. And I don't know really what's the best way. I mean, these guys help-ish. You want that survivability. You want to have those blockers. But also, I mean, I think Ace might be decent. Generally, I've been swinging big against Katakuri. But normally, they have so many counters. So what I might do is instead rely on my 10 drops. So swing big, 10 drop, or survive like crazy. This would be really good against Katakuri. Makes him a 4 life leader. I think Banish is goated against Katakuri if you can pull it off. They're going to play Beige against you. So KO with Nekomushi, swing directly at it, or rest it and then KO it because it's a 1K attack. But all in all, that's my game plan for this next weekend. I'm really hoping to top. I've been playing One Piece for a bit, but it's not been easy. But we'll give it a go. Yeah. So this is my Yamato list. I know other people have similar lists, but my Beige, Sanji, Soul Pocus, and then my 10 drop Dofi is my kind of my little sauce for this. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.